How's it going, guys? I'm your host Korriban Sabers, and welcome to the very first video on this new YouTube channel of mine. So today I'm going to be going through an in-depth review of the LGT, aka the AliExpress Saber that I got here. This is my very first Saber, and I never owned a lightsaber before this, or at least the ones I owned were the cheap toy ones that you can get for like 20-50 bucks, you know, that type. So this is my first ever Saber, and I am going to be going through in depth on how I feel about the Saber and what the Saber can do. Okay, so let's take another close look at the Saber here. Hopefully my webcam can focus. So this I got directly from the AliExpress website. And I am living in Singapore, so for those of you guys who are living in the United States, it might be more convenient, or it might be better for you to get from a reseller like Crimson Dawn, Padawan Outpost, or Dark Wolf Sabers. You know, any of those resellers, I've heard a lot of good things about them. But for me, as someone living in Singapore, it is much more convenient as well as cheaper for me to get directly from AliExpress itself. So the shop that I purchased this from was Damien Sabers. Okay, so Damien Sabers and LGT, they are basically the same company, ran by the same guy. They just have two different stores. So Damien Sabers is very slightly cheaper, like $1 cheaper or something like that. I don't know what's with the price difference, but yeah. So very slightly cheaper, and I got this for about 248 Singapore dollars, including shipping. Shipping is free, so yeah, it's about 247 Singapore dollars, and I'll say it is very worth it. If you compare this to the other US websites like Crimson Dawn, Dark Wolf, Via Sabers, all the other resellers, they are selling at the exact same price but in US dollars. So that will mean it's essentially going to be like over 300 Singapore dollars. On top of that, I have to pay shipping, and shipping for lightsabers is not cheap, especially with the blade. It's about 60 to 100 USD, guys. So I'll be paying like 400 to 500 Singapore dollars if I were to buy from any of those retailers or resellers instead. Again, if you're someone living in the States, it might be better for you to purchase from them because of customer service and all that. As well, the people over at LGT and Damien Sabers, they are mainly Chinese. The company is operating out of China, if I'm not wrong. So customer service may also be something else you want to consider if you can't speak Chinese. For me, I can speak Chinese, so it doesn't really matter for me, and I can get my customer service from them just fine. By the way, also go ahead and check out their Discord. Okay, Alexi there has been very helpful in helping to ease my concerns, because as you know, it's a big purchase for many people, lightsaber and all, and yeah, he helped to ease my concerns, and it was basically just me, you know, being very nervous. You know, when you place the order, you keep wondering, and then you keep refreshing the page to see when it will update, the shipping updates and all that, when it will arrive. So this arrived to me, it took about slightly over 2 weeks. Yeah, so just slightly over 2 weeks, and overall, I'm very happy with the service that they provided, as well as the speed of the thing. And of course, the price. This is a Xenopixel Saber. So for this price, you really can't be beat, man. 247 bucks for a Xenopixel Saber. So Xenopixel is basically a NeoPixel Saber with the Xenopixel board. Xenopixel is their own brand of board. It's similar to like the Golden Harvest, the Profi, the Crystal Focus board. It has most of the features, but there are some things that you can't do on the Xenopixel board that you can do on the other boards like the Profi or the Crystal Focus X. So there isn't that much customizability, but for the general user, or for someone who doesn't like to tinker with all the advanced stuff, you don't really, you know, bother too much about all of the advanced effects, then Xenopixel will work just fine, and I am very happy with this. Okay, so let's power on the Saber. So all you have to do is just hold this. So I think this is quite loud. Okay, so there are over 30 different sound fonts in there. I updated this to DD08, which is the latest version, through Dark Wolf's website. You can also ask Alexi on their Discord for their own version of it. I just used Dark Wolf's version. That was convenient for me. So let's power this thing on. And then I can press the button once for blaster block. I can press and hold it for 1 second to initiate tip lockout. And then afterwards I can press and hold for 2 seconds to initiate color changing. I'll go through more of that later. So I'm going to press and hold again. and this will power off the saber. So this is the very basic function, and it also comes, this saber also comes with a blade over here. This is their LGT's very own Xenopixel blade. Okay, so this is a heavy grade dueling blade. Okay, heavy grade. It's not thin walled, so this is thick walled. It is suitable for dueling, okay, as you can see from their website, but again, I would not recommend it because this is a Xenopixel blade after all. So there's a Xenopixel strip running inside of this blade. There's a dust cap that comes with this blade, very nice. In it, there is also this micro SD card reader, which you can use to change the sound fonts on your saber. Then here, there's another small pack here that they gave me 4 different set screws that I could use. Oops. Okay, that's the motion effect. Okay, that was the motion effects accidentally twisted. So I already have 2 here on either side of the blade. Okay, on the hilt here, sorry. There's another 2 here. These are slightly longer. Not sure if you guys can see, but it doesn't really matter. I'm not really going to use them. There is also the Covertech wheel. It actually comes in stock with the saber itself, but I took it out because I felt that it looked nicer without the Covertech wheel, and I am not going to hang this on the belt. So if you want to hang it on the belt, then you want to have the Covertech wheel in stock. It already comes in stock. I just took mine out. All you have to do is unscrew the screw there, which is very, very easy to do. It also comes with this manual that teaches you how to take care of your saber, how to use it, and all that. So it does take a little while to learn, but all in all, very easy operation. Okay, so when it is power off, okay, never mind. When it is power off, you can press 1 time, hold for 1 second. And then you can see the LED flash for 1 second. This will reduce the volume. So there are 3 different modes. One is volume low, one is volume high, and the other one is mute. So I press it again, hold it for 1 second. Oops. Okay, so now it's mute. I can turn on the saber and it will have no sound. So you can see here the saber is now on, but there's no sound. Okay. Alright, so I can press and hold it 1 more time. Oops, it's probably on. Oh, come on. Okay, now I turn the volume on to high. Okay, so that's how you do it. And then when it's mute, it's a little bit hard to tell without the blade. Okay, I'll showcase this with the blade later on. And then simply because the blade is very big. Okay, so I can power this off again. And then I can hold for 2 seconds.
Cracked blade.
This will change the type of the blade. Okay, so let me put the blade in right now so you guys can see. Okay, going to take off the dust cap here. Put the blade in. Okay, I'm not going to tighten the screws now. Okay, so now the blade is a bright yellow. Okay, not really yellow, but whitish yellow. Warm white. Yeah, warm white. Okay, then I can press and hold for 3 seconds. Or 3 flashes. And this will change the ignition style, okay? Okay, so I can change the ignition styles, that's stack. And then we can change it again.
Photon ignition.
Photon ignition. Very, very cool ignition effects here. Really love it. And then we can press and hold for 4 seconds while it's power off to change the sound font.
You're hard to get rid of.
Okay, this is a nice yellow. I know it doesn't show up very well on camera, but that's fine. Let's see the other colors.
The dark sword.
Dark sword. Okay, so this one is Mandalorian. This is white, so we're not going to show it.
It's a cunning warrior.
This is a rainbow blade. Okay, I know you guys probably can't see it. Yeah, if I put my hand here, you guys can see the colors. Very, very nice. So this is the rainbow blade. Duel of the Fates. Very, very nice. And this is a different style ignition, as you can see here. and this is a nice bright red. Okay, so I know you guys can't see all the colors, but that's fine. Let's see if you can see the blaster block. Yeah, so it's white flashes. You can't change the color of the blaster block, unfortunately. And this is the tip drag. Okay, you can't really see it, but it flashes white at the tip here. Okay, and then you can press it again, and that will deactivate the tip drag mode. Okay, so you can cycle through different colors by pressing and holding for 2 seconds or 2 flashes while the saber is on. And now it's cycling from yellow, going to orange, red. This is a purplish pink color, white. It's going to light blue, teal, green, now it's going to a yellowish green. Now it's back to yellow, white. Now it's a pinkish purple, light blue, deep blue this time. Back to light blue, white, yellow, orange, and now it's back to red. So once you select, once it stops on the color that you want, you can press it one time and it will stop cycling, and this will be the color that you get. Okay, so for clash effects, it's basically the same. Okay, it clashes white, and there are a few motion controls which you can turn on or off. So I turn this on in the SD card settings. You can twist the saber while it is on to power it down. Okay, and then you can also do stabbing motion, so I can stab to power on the saber. Yeah, without pressing the button. Okay. While it is in while it is power off, you can also give it a quick twist while the saber is facing up to play a music track. Very, very nice. Duel of the Fates. So there's a different music track for every single sound font, but not all sound fonts have tracks. Okay. Man, this is amazing. And then you can give it a quick twist again to turn off the sound. Okay, so now I'm going to power this off. So all you have to do is press and hold for 10 seconds. And it will power off. Alternatively, you can also wait for like 10 minutes and it will power off on its own. Alright.
Power off.
Okay, so now overall I feel that this entire thing, this is a 36-inch blade, by the way, guys, the longest version available. This is like super duper heavy and a bit hard to swing around. For me, I am 172 centimeters tall. I'm not sure how tall that is in foot and inches, but yeah, this blade, I find it to be a little bit too long, okay, for swinging about and dueling. If you want to, I would advise getting a 32-inch blade, but for those of you Americans who are a bit taller, then maybe a 36-inch blade will fit you guys well. But for me, I feel that the 36-inch blade is a little bit too long for my liking. Also, keep in mind this is a heavy grade blade, so it's going to be heavier than your standard thin walled blade, okay. Let me see here. What else do I have to say about this? Okay, let me just take this out. Oh, okay, so this thing here, this is actually quite a tight fit. Okay, the blade itself. You don't really have to force it in or anything, but yeah, it is a pretty tight fit. Okay. And you can hear that pop. That's the seal there. Okay, shows how tight this thing is. One mistake that I made was a bit over tightening this a bit too much the first time I got it, because I was really worried the blade would fly out, and that did leave some marks here. Also, you want to, I know it doesn't really show up well on camera, but you can it did leave some marks. There's a small circle mark here. Not sure if you guys can see it. You guys probably can't see it, but yeah. Also, you want to make sure you loosen this completely before you pull out the blade, otherwise it will leave marks as well. Again, my first time doing it, I wasn't that sure how tight or how loose it should go, but like just finger tight, that's enough. Don't tighten it any further, otherwise you will leave marks on the blade. For me, I am going to be modifying this saber later on, and that will be a very exciting video. So this one, not that important, okay? The marks here not going to matter that much, because even if you don't modify it, it's going to sit inside the hilt here, and this saber sits quite deeply inside the hilt, about this much. So whatever marks you have from yanking this thing out, it's not going to show up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, with regards to tip brightness and all that, I know a lot of people like to compare that. Okay, let me just power on the saber first,
Power on.
and then I'll mute it, so I don't have to compete with the saber for volume, okay, where I'm talking. Okay, maybe I'll leave a little bit of sound here, so that it's easier for me to see whether the saber is powered on or off.
You will take the threat.
Alright, so with regards to side shadowing on the blade, okay, I know a lot of people don't really have good experience with LGT blades, and for me, it's very hard for me to compare, because honestly speaking, this is the first and only saber that I've owned, so I don't really have anything to compare to. With regards to side shadowing, I would say there is a little bit. I'm not sure what people classify as a little bit or a lot, but yeah, this blade to me, it is brighter than any other blade that I've ever seen from like all the toy sabers and all that. And this is actually decently bright in daytime. Right now it's daytime and my windows are wide open, curtains are drawn open, so yeah, this is with the light. I know the light doesn't show up very well on camera, but even looking at this in real life, I would say it is bright enough. I never had a KR blade before, so I don't know if this is considered dim or bright by the saber community, but this is bright enough for me, for my taste, okay? So yeah, side shadowing, it's only noticeable, I would say, if your blade is white, and even then you really have to like go in, squint and look at it to notice the side shadowing. If you're just swinging it around, if you're looking at it from like a distance or even like this distance, you are literally not going to see it. Okay, you really like need to go in and look at the blade before you can notice a bit of side shadowing. The tip, oh sorry, okay, so the tip downers, yes, unfortunately it is still dull. The tip is basically, I know it doesn't pick up well on camera, but yeah, it's basically barely lighted. So the tip here, once again, another problem that LGT, hopefully they'll fix one day, but I will be modifying this blade soon. Hopefully I can make it better. Okay, so once again, the tip, yeah, a little bit of tip downers, but again, if you're using this for like camera, taking pictures, taking videos, then it doesn't matter, because it's never going to notice. Is it a deal breaker? I would say no. Okay, so let's turn this off. Alright, so yeah, I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker entirely, but it is a bit of a bummer. There are some simple mods that you can do to make this shine brighter, and I'll show you guys when I release the video. So yeah, another thing that I'd like to point out, okay, whether you have 2 set screws or 1 set screw, even if you tighten it in all the way, there's still a bit of wobble when you not when you swing the blade, when you clash, when you hit the blade on something, you can feel that wobble. Okay, a lot of people have suggested using only 1 set screw. I've tried that, but there's still a little bit of a wobble. I do not know why that is the case, but yeah, apparently there still is. I have nothing to compare this to, so maybe other sabers are having the same problem. Only if you clash though. Like if you swing it around, there's absolutely no wobble. So yeah, not a deal breaker for me, but just something to take note of, okay, for you guys. And one more thing that I'd like to point out is that, is there any rattle for this blade? No. It's a very solid, very well built blade. If you shake it left and right, you can hardly feel any rattle. Up and down, there is a little bit, just a little bit of play, but not enough to make it like noticeable, or you know, make this not worth getting. Okay, very very minimal, not even noticeable at all. And when you swing it around and all that, you don't really notice it, so it's fine. Okay, so yeah, that's my review on the blade. As for the hilt, they have a bunch of different designs. I like this design the most. It's sort of like a Darth Revan style, dark dark Darth Revan style design. That was why I really liked it. And yeah, a lot of customizability, a lot of things you can do with the Xenopixel board. You guys should definitely go ahead and explore on your own. Okay, I don't know if I will release a video showing you guys how to use the board, how to program the board. It's very simple actually, but if you guys want, I can do it. Let me know down in the comments below if you like to see that. And let's go through a little bit of the internals right now. So I took this saber apart once already, okay, because I wanted to see what the internals look like before I started modifying it. So the screws here, do not over tighten them, because you can see, yeah, there's a little bit of a mark. Not sure if you guys can see it. Yeah, I over tightened it a bit too much the first time I took this apart. So yeah, that was a mistake on my end. That left a little bit of a scratch there, but again, not a deal breaker. It does get scratched up pretty easily, but as long as you keep this in mind, don't over tighten it, you're completely fine. I mean, it can serve as some sort of weather or battle damage, so I'm totally okay with that. You can disassemble the saber at two different parts. So the first part is the pommel here, but this doesn't let you access anything. You just see the speaker only from here. So yeah, all you can access is the speaker from here, which really doesn't do anything. So I don't know why they have this in, but if you want to switch pommels, you can. Okay, the other part, you can disassemble at the center of the saber here. So literally all you have to do is just unscrew it, and that's all. The saber comes apart. Then you'll see here there is a 3D printed chassis, again with a battery. Okay, this battery is 3600 milliamp hours. Unfortunately, it is 10 amps. Come on, LGT. Give us a 15 amp battery. Like I've seen a lot of people say that this the LGT sabers are actually being underpowered. The industry standard that you want is a 15 amp keep power high drain battery, and of course these batteries are going to be a bit more expensive, but I'm sure they can find like cheap 15 amp drain battery alternatives, right? That doesn't have to specifically be keep power. So I'm going to be changing this with putting this in with the mod as well to make it, you know, function at its maximum potential here. The speakers, a lot of people have said that the sound is not good. Again, I have nothing to compare to, but the speakers actually sound pretty good to me. So yeah, I don't know what the complaint is. It sounds clear enough to me, it's loud enough for me, and for some reason people want it to be even louder. I don't know if this is considered loud or soft, but it's pretty loud for my taste already. Okay, so you can unscrew these two screws here, as well as one more screw at the back, and you can pull out the chassis completely, which allows you to access the blade part as well as all the wiring. And then there's another two more screws, one here and one, I think it's this one, or no, it's hidden inside here. Okay, I'm not going to disassemble it in this video, so it's hidden inside here. And then you can open up the chassis, you can unsolder the wires. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to unsolder the battery wires as well as the wires going to the LED, and replace them with 24 gauge wires, which I've already purchased. Also, I managed to find Saber, what was that called? Smuggler's Outpost speakers, okay, or at least what I believe to be the same model of speakers that Smuggler's Outpost uses on AliExpress. And fun fact, for someone like me living in Singapore, getting one Smuggler's Outpost speakers, 24mm speaker, costs us 40 Singapore dollars with shipping. Whereas from AliExpress, okay, I believe it's the same model, and some other people from the community have also said that it's the same model as well. I'm getting two for 10 Singapore dollars. Okay, inclusive of shipping. So obviously, I got mine from AliExpress. Again, I have no 100% way of confirming if it is the same model of speakers, but I'm going to be replacing the speakers as well, and let's see how well the blade can perform at its maximum potential. But apart from that, yeah, one more thing I want to take note of. If you unscrew this and you just want to take a look, if you're not planning to modify, one thing that you want to keep in mind is do not over tighten the screws, because if you do, then the back part of the board will ride up a little bit, and if it comes into contact with the metal part of your hilt, then you will short out the saber. Not exactly short out the saber, but it will cause some functions to go wonky. Okay, for me, the saber will function fine, but then like the the sound will be working and all that, but I just wouldn't get any lights. So the problem was that the board was coming into contact with the hilt, and that is what you do not want. So make sure the board doesn't ride up when you screw back everything if you're planning to open this up, and you should be fine. Okay, so just to double check, and if you can see lights in there and you can hear sound, then yeah, your saber is working just fine. Alright, so this is a very value for money saber. For first timers, I highly recommend everyone to go ahead and pick up a Xenopixel saber from LGT. Very happy, definitely blew away all my expectations, but of course, looking at the blade in real life and looking at the blade in camera is different. So regardless of whoever's video you're watching, it's all the same, okay? It's just the camera's fault. Okay, tone down your expectation on the brightness of the blade, but I'm still quite happy with the brightness of the blade, even seeing it in real life. And all in all, you should be a very happy customer. Okay, so I'll have some cheap upgrades planned for this saber, so definitely stay tuned to this channel if you guys want to see that, and we'll see how far we can take this cheap saber. Alright, so that's it for my in-depth review of the LGT saber. Let me know if I missed out anything or if there's anything else that you guys would like to hear my thoughts on. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this content, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to this channel if you guys would like to see more saber related content. Till the next time, I'm your host Korriban Sabers. Peace out.